The night is quiet, but the drama, oh darling, it's never been louder. You may have forgotten all about your favorite nighttime soaps, but Miss Kane, she never did. She's been watching all the affairs, the betrayals, and the big hair, and now she's here to tell you everything you missed, or perhaps just forgot. This is Drama After Dark. Slip into something comfortable, and let's catch you up.
Welcome back to Drama After Dark. This week's episode, A Spy in the House. And honey, someone's been peeking where they shouldn't. Pam's got questions, JR's got games, and somebody's pillow talk is about to blow up the whole damn ranch. In the Ewing house, trust is a luxury. And secrets? They don't stay secret for long. So pour that drink, because the drama's about to get real messy.
All right, loves, I'm Miss Kane. And yes, I did watch these nighttime soaps as a kid. Back then, I didn't fully understand what I was seeing, but oh, I knew it was juicy. Now I'm all grown up and watching with fresh eyes, a sharper tongue, and a whole lot more perspective. And let me tell you, the drama hits different when you actually get the schemes, the shade, and the scandal. That's why I started Drama After Dark, to relive the chaos, call out the mess, and give these iconic shows the commentary they deserve. So go ahead and pour a drink, get comfortable, and let's get into it, shall we? So Bobby just stumps out of his office, dodging all that carpentry clatter, muttering on about how he can't even hear himself think, the poor dear. Then he tells Kim he's taking the files home, says he's on a deadline and the noise is just unbearable. Honestly. Meanwhile, Julie sachets out of JR's office, heading back to her desk. And of course, JR follows right behind, leaning in close as they pick up right where they left off with their little tete-a-tete. Julie, bless her heart, teases, "Roast beef on rye?" JR smirks. "Dull, huh?" "Not dull," she says, "just predictable." "That's me," he replies, "as you well know, unless, of course, you've forgotten." Flirting, set to low simmer, of course. As Bobby heads out, JR throws in a pointed warning about those red files staying in the office. But Bobby just brushes it off, says he'll be careful. Julie decides to ride down with him, and just like that, the elevator doors close. Can you believe it? Bobby and Julie stroll down the sidewalk, chatting easy. She asks how he's liking life off the road. Bobby says it's good. Once they stop hammering up the walls in his office, Julie smirks and says JR thinks he's gonna feel boxed in. Bobby's not having it. "Nah, JR hopes I'll feel boxed in." Then, half joking, Bobby says Pam might have had an easier time if JR had married Jilly instead. It lands a little heavy. Julie brushes it off with a tight smile. Ancient history. They part ways, friendly but with a little tension still hanging in the air. And then, enter Cliff Barnes, practically jogging across the street when he spots Julie. He's grinning like he's got a secret, and plays it cool with a, "We really have to stop meeting like this." Julie calls him the enemy, and tells him they shouldn't be seen together. But that just makes Cliff turn it up. He cracks jokes, lays on the charm, talks about how he turns into a prince after 6 p.m. Julie rolls her eyes but plays along, until he pushes for dinner. Just dinner, he claims. She knows exactly what he's after. 2 drinks in and you'll be digging for intel. Cliff doesn't deny it. He keeps it flirty and relentless. Even hands her a number. Unlisted, of course. Julie gives him a half smile and lets him down with a soft landing. She's not biting, but she's not storming off either. At South Fork, Jock's entertaining Senator Orloff with bourbon and small talk, on the surface anyway. But underneath it all, it's all about keeping that Barnes investigation at bay. Orloff laughs off Cliff as just another gnat buzzing round the Capitol, but Jock knows better than that. Cliff's got teeth, and when he bites, he doesn't let go, does he? They swap stories about investigators and football tickets, trying to laugh off the pressure, but Jock is already shoring up his defenses. Everything between them has been done with a handshake, and Jock intends to keep it that way, thank you very much. That's when Bobby walks in. Unexpected, of course. He brought the files home, escaping the carpentry chaos at the office. Senator Orloff compliments his pretty new bride, and Bobby smiles, polite and polished. Then Jock pulls him aside. He needs to know the files are complete. Bobby confirms he has everything, though some pieces might be a bit tricky. Jock brushes it off with a cool grin, saying all they have to do is keep it quiet, and everyone will be just fine. And Bobby, catching how slick his father still plays the game, just smirks. Yeah, Jock still got it. Alright, so Pam finally coaxes Bobby away from all that paperwork. Bless her heart. He's been buried in those documents for a good 2 hours. Not exactly her idea of marital joy, is it? He jokes she wanted an executive, but she's thinking more rest and recreation. Oh yes. He plays along, and they decide to take a little stroll, check out their new house being built on the ranch. Before they can get too far, wouldn't you know it, Lucy pops up out of nowhere, teasing Bobby about skipping school. He laughs it off, says it's just a break, but Lucy ain't letting go that easily. No ma'am. Pam suggests showing Bobby the house, and Lucy quips she can do the tour herself, so Bobby can get back to work. But Pam shuts that down with a quick, "It wouldn't be the same, darling." And Lucy gets the message loud and clear, doesn't she? Then Miss Ellie and Sue Ellen arrive from a shopping trip. Pam gives a polite update on the decorating. Ellie offers to help, and Bobby checks in with Sue Ellen, who delivers a perfectly pleasant, "Fine, thank you, Bobby." All very cordial, indeed. But then Lucy turns her sass towards Sue Ellen, asking why JR never comes home for lunch like Bobby does. Sue Ellen doesn't even flinch, child. JR's work is more demanding, you know. With a tight smile, she walks off. Lucy watches her go and mutters, "Sure." The eye roll is practically audible. That teenage sarcasm isn't going anywhere, is it? Well, JR comes home early. Can you believe it? Sue Ellen, bless her heart, she just beams. Finally, a chance to reconnect. She shows him the black lingerie, soft-spoken and hopeful. Maybe this will remind him she's still here, still trying. But JR, he doesn't budge. Calls it cheap. Not her. Says she's not acting like a lady. Not the lady he married. Honestly. Sue Ellen, wounded but still trying, asks him to stay. Postpone his shower. She likes him sweaty, she says. Anything to break the ice. JR pulls back even further. Says she's been spending too much time with Pan, and he won't have it. None of it, darling. She pleads with him. They don't make love anymore. And still, he walks away, cold, unmoved, leaving her there, clutching hope like it might keep her warm. Oh, the drama. JR and Julie sit close, drinks in hand. He says he misses talking like this, he does. She tells him to have one last drink, go on home, and get in bed with his wife. But he doesn't want Sue Ellen. No, never really did. Julie pushes back, doesn't she? Reminds him of the woman he married, Miss Texas, poised and polished. JR doesn't want to talk about her, says Julie's the only one who ever truly got him. But it's not enough. Julie's been here too many nights, only to wake up alone. She pleads with him to let her move on. He grabs her, desperate. He needs her now. Cut to later. Julie lies in bed. JR is getting dressed. He spots a birthday card. He forgot. She says it doesn't matter. He drops $100 bill on the bed, tells her to buy something pretty. Then he's gone. Julie stares at the bill, picks up the phone. Cliff answers. She agrees to dinner and says this time she's buying. At the office, then Ewings are huddled round sensitive files, trying to stay ahead of a situation involving Senator Orloff. Everything looks clean, except one file tied to a house $50,000 second trust deed that hasn't seen a single payment. It's legal, JR insists, just quietly tucked away, and the only copy is supposed to be in that room. Except it ain't. Bobby admits he left the file at home, prompting a familiar warning from JR about keeping business in the office. But Bobby isn't rattled. He picks up the phone and calls Pam. She finds the missing file easily and agrees to swing by the office with it before heading to lunch with her brother, Cliff. When Pam arrives, she's greeted by Julie, who takes the folder and offers to fetch Bobby. Pam waits in his office. No drama, no tension, just a quick handoff from a helpful wife, while the men in the boardroom get back to business. After dinner, Cliff brings Judy back to his flat for a nightcap, and it's ever so cozy, not flashy at all. Which, I dare say, is probably why she relaxes almost immediately. She compliments the space, thanks him for the quiet. Honestly, the day at the office had her on edge, and she didn't want anyone calling her at home. Cliff, bless his heart, takes that as a win. Offers her some sherry, throws in a line about how she made her decision the moment she called him. Julie pushes back, playfully, but she doesn't correct him either, does she? When he asks her directly why she reached out, she evades the question with a smile. Some things don't need to be said out loud. Not tonight, darling. Later, with the lights dimmed and the tension finally gone, they're lingering in bed. Cliff is half asleep, stretched out beside her. Julie quietly reaches over and places something next to him. Not dramatic, not sentimental, you see. Just a folded slip of paper. He stirs slightly and murmurs, "What's that then?" She leans in, brushes his shoulder, and says, "A bonus." Then she settles back beside him, leaving the rest unsaid. Can you believe it? Well, look who's on top of the world. It's the next morning, and Cliff Barnes is riding high. That little old folded slip of paper. Now it's Exhibit A, darling. With the press gathered round, he lays it all out. Not with fire, mind you, but with a cold, cold precision. The Ewing family holds a second trust deed on Senator Orloff's home. 50 grand. Can you believe it? No payments, no paperwork, just loyalty. Ooh, the reporters smell blood, don't they? One of them pushes. So what do you call it then? Cliff just shrugs. A loan? A favor? Conveniently forgotten, I'm sure. Then he drops the real accusation, that Orloff isn't working for the people anymore. Shameful, really. Cliff plans to hand the document over to the committee when he gets back to Austin, and maybe have a little chat with the senator first. Oh, I bet he does. As the microphones lower, one of the reporters peels off and makes a quiet call. Looks like the Ewings are about to have a very bad morning. Oh dear, what a pity. Well, good heavens, it's barely morning at South Fork, and already JR's got a phone call that's about to turn everything upside down. Cliff Barnes is holding a press conference, can you believe it? And what's he waving around like he's won the lottery? A copy of that second trust deed for Senator Orloff's home. The very same file Pam dropped off at Ewing Oil just the other day. The very same file Bobby left sitting out in their living room. Bless his heart. And who was Pam lunching with right after her little drop-off? Why, her brother, Cliff Barnes, of course. JR doesn't need to spell it out, does he? He's practically shouting that Pam's the one who spilled the beans. Bobby, well, he fires back, absolutely livid that JR would dare accuse his wife without a shred of proof. Miss Ellie tries to play peacemaker, but the tension? Oh, it's thicker than molasses. JR just keeps on insisting that there's a spy right here in the house. Bobby, bless him, insists his wife isn't it. But when Bobby demands someone, anyone, stand up and defend Pam, the silence from the rest of the family? Well, darlings, it speaks volumes, doesn't it? Still, Bobby stands his ground. If JR wants him to pick a side, well, his choice has already been made, hasn't it? Well, Bobby ain't wasting no time, is he? He tells Pam to pack her bags, says they're leaving South Fork till this whole mess blows over. And wouldn't you know it, she's just devastated, claiming she didn't do it. But Bobby? Honey, he doesn't even hesitate. Says he knows she didn't. But Pam, bless her heart, she needs more than that. Asks him if even a tiny part of him has doubts. Still, Bobby stands firm, not even a little bit. Then he asks the one hard question. Did she stop anywhere before dropping off that file? Oh, but she can't bring herself to answer. He reassures her again. Says it's not him she needs to convince, it's his family. And not a single one of them spoke up for her. Pam just hates being the wedge between Bobby and those Ewings. But Bobby says forget it. They can't stay here. Not now. Before they go, he asks one last thing. Will Cliff tell her how he got that file? She says she can ask, and Bobby, with a quiet resolve, replies, "That's what I thought."
The drama sparkles best when you're part of it. Subscribe and stay close, like a whispered secret. Leave a comment, tell us what has you gasping, because every scandal deserves an audience.
Pam heads to Cliff's office, hoping for a straight answer. But Cliff? Oh, he's standing by his choices. Says Senator Orloff's been a roadblock for years, as if that somehow justifies dragging Pam into it. She's hurt in it, not just because of the scandal, but because Cliff seems fine letting her take the heat. His excuse? She married a Ewing. She should have expected things to get messy. She presses him, not as a Barnes, but as his sister. But Cliff doesn't flinch. Says if the Ewings don't trust each other, that's not his fault. Then the phone rings, and Cliff gets cagey real quick. Julie's on the other end, confused. She thought this was just a bluff, a warning. Cliff tries to smooth it over, keep things quiet, brushing her off with a vague, "We'll talk tonight." Pam clocks the tone. She doesn't know who's on the line, but she knows Cliff's hitting something. And just like that, she's out. No answers, just more questions. Back in that Ewing oil boardroom, the men, they circle their next move, don't they? With Ed driving, of course. He lays it out cold, doesn't he? Says Orloff hasn't made a single payment, not even interest, so they're fully within their rights to call the loan. Demand full payment. Technically, that would absolve them from further risk, wouldn't it? JR calls it economics, of course. Bobby hesitates, though. Accusing Orloff outright could cost the senator his house. Jock cuts in. Orloff knew what he was getting into. But he also keeps it respectful. Even when it comes to political leverage, loyalty is tempered with decorum. Bobby searches for a better option, something that doesn't end with a friend losing everything. But Jock's final line lands heavy. When it's an old friend, it's always the hardest blow, innit? So, Bobby meets Senator Orloff in a quiet corner of a public park. Ever so peaceful, isn't it? A sharp contrast to what's about to be said, of course. The senator, bless his heart, tries to stall with small talk about his house, how much he and his wife love it. But Bobby's not here for nostalgia, is he? He tells him straight. The Ewings are calling in the $50,000 loan. Today, of all days. Orloff panics. Doesn't have the money, you see. Bobby offers a legal workaround. Another loan. But the senator knows the optics, doesn't he? That would look like an unshady deal, and his seat in the legislature wouldn't survive it. Bobby's calm but firm. Resign the seat, or lose your home. Orloff knows what that means. It's an admission, even if no one says the word, darling. Before they part, he asks the question that's still haunting Bobby. How did Cliff Barnes get that trust deed? Bobby's reply, we don't know yet. Back at the hotel, Pam is just beside herself. She tells Bobby she tried talking to Cliff, but the man wouldn't budge, not 1 inch. He's too intense, too committed to the fight, I tell you. Bobby reassures her. Says if Cliff had a source, he wouldn't name it, and honestly, Bobby wouldn't either. But Pam's worried about more than just her brother, bless her heart. What about Bobby's family? How do they repair all the damage? Bobby knows the only way back is figuring out how that file ended up in Cliff's hands. Only a few people had access. Jock, JR, and himself. Pam points out Julie was the last one with the file. And while Bobby defends her, the doubt is starting to creep in, isn't it? Then Pam proposes a plan. First thing tomorrow, they'll head to the office early, before anyone else is in. They'll find out what happened and clear her name, once and for all. And if everything goes according to plan, well, JR will owe a few people a serious apology, won't he? Back at Cliff's place, the mood's light as a feather. They've been carrying on about football, the Cowboys, even that old Tom Landry's poker face, bless his heart. But Julie's ready to change the subject. She brings up that press conference, trying to sound casual, but you can see her nerves plain as day. Cliff just brushes it off, comparing her to Matahari. Not exactly a compliment when you remember that spy meets a rather unfortunate end, doesn't she? Julie presses him though. Why go public instead of confronting Orloff directly? Cliff lays it out for her. If he'd warned the senator, those Ewings would have buried the evidence faster than you can say, missing receipt, wouldn't they? Now, with the spotlight on him, Orloff's cornered like a rat. Legal or not, Cliff's playing the ethics game. And honey, he's playing to win. Julie, still torn, softens a bit. Orloff may be guilty, but he's not the devil himself. Cliff's response? He's a crook, plain and simple. She leans in close to remind him. I also know you're very sensitive behind the knees, aren't you? Just like that, all the tension just fades away. And we all know exactly where this is headed, don't we? Back at the Ewing oil offices, Pam and Bobby are doing a bit of quiet digging, aren't they? Pam floats the possibility, doesn't she? She could have Xeroxed the file. Bobby tries to shut it down. It can't be Julie, can it? But Pam isn't buying that. Why not, love? Bobby hesitates, then admits it. Julie and JR have had an understanding. Not quite an affair, mind you, just sex. Sometimes, when JR needs to feel better about himself. Comforting, right? That's when Pam spots something, a slip of paper with a number. It's recent, and unlisted too. Bobby sees it too. Cliff. Pam doesn't waste time. She picks up the phone, doesn't she? Cliff answers, smug as ever. Thought she wasn't speaking to him. That was yesterday, she says. She wants to see him. He tries to play it off. Says he's busy. She says it's personal. That gets his attention, doesn't it? She says she's at the ranch. She'll be there in an hour. He agrees to wait. Julie doesn't. So Cliff just got off the phone with Pam. But don't think for a second he's ready to say goodbye to Julie. No, ma'am. He's pouring her coffee, tossing compliments, stalling like a man who knows the clock is ticking but doesn't want the night to end. And then, boom. The news hits. Senator Orloff? Gone. Resigned. Effective immediately. All because of that little bonus Julie handed over. Her face says it all. Shock, guilt, and maybe just a hint of betrayal. She thought she was helping Cliff do some good. Drain the swamp. Clean up the government. But Cliff? He turns the TV off like it's just background noise. Julie calls it out plain as day. You said you wanted the crooks out of office. You said you wanted to give government back to the people. But now? Now it's clear. Cliff's crusade was never about ethics. Never about justice. It's always been about the Ewings. Julie sees it. She knows it. And when he dares to ask her for more, for access to files, for help digging up more dirt, that's when the illusion snaps. Cliff tries to justify it. Says he warned her he'd tried to pry things out of her. Says he's still the good guy, fighting the bad guys. But Julie, she's not buying it. Not anymore. She looks him dead in the eye and calls it like she sees it. You're just like JR. Using. And that, right there, that's the heartbreak. Because whatever this was, whatever could have been, it ends in the exact same place. Julie, used. Well. Look who it is. Pam's been waiting in her car outside Cliff's building, and Lord have mercy, it doesn't take long. Julie slips out, looking anything but triumphant. Pam steps out to intercept her. This isn't some dramatic showdown. Not yet anyway. Pam's not angry, she just wants answers. How long has Julie been seeing her brother? Did she give him the file? Julie deflects, of course. Acts like Pam's out of her depth. But Pam pushes back. Calmly, firmly. She reminds Julie they're both working women who made different choices. Pam married Bobby. Julie stayed the side piece. Julie doesn't have a comeback. Just bruised pride and a tight smile that doesn't quite land. Pam's already gotten what she came for. And Julie knows it, doesn't she? Back at the office. And this time, Julie ain't here to take notes, can you believe it? She walks right on in and cuts straight to it. She's done. Says she quit. Oh, and get this. She's the one who gave the file to Cliff Barnes. JR wants answers, but ain't getting any comfort today. Julie serves up the truth, like it's been simmering for a while. Maybe Cliff didn't earn her loyalty, but he sure earned a reward, and she liked the way he made love. Does she love him? Please. Julie's got nothing left to give. Not to Cliff, and definitely not to JR. He asks why, like he still doesn't get it. That's the whole point. The fact that he has to ask is all the reason she needs. She told him, She's out. And just like that, she's gone. And there it is, in it. Bobby stands tall in the middle of that living room. Not as a son, not as a brother, but as a husband, yeah? And when he says nobody stood up for his wife, oh baby, the room goes silent. JR tries to play it noble for once. Takes the blame, even offers an apology. But let's not pretend he's grown a conscience overnight now. That's just damage control, South Fork style. Miss Ellie stays quiet. Jock grumbles something about it being hard to believe, but Bobby shuts it down. Because this isn't about Julie, or the fire, or even Cliff. This is about Pam. And Pam, she's Grace under fire, she is. She tells Bobby it's okay, but we know it's not. Not really, not yet. Then Lucy, ever the little instigator, tries to play matchmaker. Says it's time to kiss and make up. JR leans in. And what does Pam do, eh? She lets in. Not out of forgiveness. Not yet, but out of power, darling. Because nothing says I won this round like locking eyes with the man who tried to ruin you and not blinking. That kiss, it's not friendly. It's a truce made of teeth and tension. And if you think this family drama is cooling off, sugar, you clearly haven't been paying attention.
Well, wasn't that deliciously messy? Miss Kane walked you through the drama, and trust me, the secrets are just starting to spill. But don't think it's over, darling. There's always another scandal waiting in the shadows. This has been Drama After Dark. Until next time, we'll be watching. Will you?